Sorry for that, guys. It looks like we've had my great standard blue screen of death for the night. Woo! I love when that happens. I really need to figure out what's causing it because it's pissing me off. But we will be back in game shortly. I will just have to go back into Dota. 1,030 hours played. Good stuff. It's only going to take me a moment to get back into the game. Sorry for the delay, especially right as all that action was happening mid. It looks like Earthshaker just got off a nice ultimate and Luna was going down. But obviously not being able to see any follow-up from that, so very annoying. But I will be back in game in just a few seconds, so hopefully Danavis and Rainicorn have been handling it while I'm gone. Of course, the good thing about having a fast computer is when I do blue screen, very quick to get back into the game, so you're only going to miss out on a couple of minutes. And I'm back!
You died there a little bit.
I did, it blue screened again. I don't know what's causing it, it's really pissing me off.
I bet it is. You have quite a nice PC, but
it's just so unstable. Don't know why.
It's like North Korea.
And Tinker's gonna try and kill off this lone little dragon. Is Gyro gonna go on him? He pops off the stun and the rocket barrage comes out. One more auto attack. I think
so much of that
the rocket's gonna take him down anyway. It doesn't matter. He turns back and it takes him down. The rotation coming in from the Earthshaker, but I think Gyrocopter spotted it out. He has the Shadow Blade and now he has enough mana to use it. So he runs away. The blind fish are coming out from the Earthshaker, and the Gyrocopter is going to get out with just enough mana available to him to use that Shadow Blade. Meanwhile, the Magnus picks off the Rubik with the help of the Shadow Demon.
Luna has an illusion rune bottled here. Effectively an early Manto.
Ooh, meanwhile, at bottom we see the Lena's being picked out. An excellent Fisher there, trapping her.
We hardly
followed up by the Silence and Frost Arrows of the Drow is enough damage to take her down. Still no Boots of Travel on the Tinker. Again, another death, setting those back quite a bit, sitting at 1,700 gold at the moment. It's going to be, again, another while till he gets those, and it's really delaying the effectiveness of this dire side.
Yeah, I mean, this Sven's not really picking up either. I'm not really sure about his choice to... It looks like he's going for a BKB first, which, I mean, isn't going to be the greatest against the Radiant side, to be honest. They've just got so much that goes through it.
Well, I mean, against his lineup, though, if he pops off that BKB before the RP, he doesn't take the damage, and they can't really nuke him down quickly enough, except with the Gyro.
It's not even going to do so much, though, I mean... The Shadow Demon ulti is really good at crippling. I mean, Sven needs to be on their face, and if he can't move up there, and the Gyrocopter ulti slow still hits him through BKB as well, so he's going to be crawling a lot, and that's going to really hurt him.
Yeah, a lot of disables for sure.
I would have preferred to see him go for more mid-game oriented items, you know, such as drums, maybe even pick up something like an armlet, just to really boost his damage and mid-game potential, or even go for the classic kind of Mask of Madness crit build and farm up the ancient stacks if Tinker doesn't manage to farm them quickly enough.
No possibilities.
But I really think that these supports need to keep on stacking those ancients up, because you have quite a few heroes that can make use of them. The Tinker, the Drow, and the Sven, all being very efficient at clearing ancients. It's going to be a good way to get some extra money source through.
Oh, that missile just does so much damage to Tinker, who has got his Boots of Travel, by the way, probably for a while now. So he's going to be able to move around the map, as a good Tinker should.
At this point, though, he's got to be so careful. Like, there is so many opportunities for the Radiant side to just gank him out, because these lanes, none of them. I mean,
he has
there's
just
no towers
nothing
down
defensively. I mean, he's got the boots and he's got a Soul Ring, but
yeah, he really needs to get a Blink Dagger before he's going to be useful.
There goes the Light Strike Array, taking down that tower, just melting beneath the weight of it.
Radiant's mid
Drow's ultimate just offers her so much right-click damage. It's just for single target damage. It's extremely powerful. Just having that free 60 damage at, you know, level 11. It's quite insane, and it's very powerful for taking down towers solo, and also just generally jungling, using the Ancients to your advantage. If you get up a helm with the Dominator, you can basically sustain yourself forever in the jungle.
Yeah, she's hitting for a good 200 damage on every hit now, which at this point in the game is just ridiculous.
It really is, and that we see the fragility of the Tinker there. Just a Shadow Demon manages to take him down to 100 health. It's he's not looking good. He really needs something like a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff before he's going to really be effective.
Or a heart.
Or a heart. If we take a look at the net worth, the Sven is leading marginally over the Gyrocopter. But the Gyrocopter has been much more active across the map. He's got 6 kills under his belt, only 1 death, whereas the Sven's just kind of sitting at, you know, triple ones, so not too much coming out of him. He's been farming all game, but so far unable to kind of translate that into a good team fight kind of experience.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him leave top yet.
Yeah, he's just been farming this lane all day. We do see a Shadow Blade coming in, pings coming out, and stacking of stuns there. Bit of a misplay, and the RP coming out into the cooldown. That does a lot of damage. Oh, but a perfectly timed Echo Slam from the Earthshaker there. The Rocket Barrage comes out, but that BKB saving the life of Sven, and with a TP in from the Tinker, the Rockets and Laser are enough to take the Gyrocopter down. Luna coming in with a haste rune, really needs to pop off that Eclipse. Manages to do so, needs to run after this Tinker and gets him with the Eclipse hit. Lucid Beam still at his disposal, but he decides to back off. Meanwhile, the Lina and
How
the
did the
SD
BKB save the Sven?
He did, because Rocket Barrage didn't hit him.
So fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocket Barrage would have killed off the Sven,
like,
or at least severely hurt him, but popped off just in time. And of course it does still soak up the hits, so it didn't switch full target damage to the Earthshaker, so I think it kind of saved him for a while as well, and managed to let him get away.
There's something quite interesting going on here. If you check the net worth graph, the Shadow Demon, up until about 30 seconds ago, was actually beating the Tinker in net worth.
Top tower's gone.
You can just see how much that ward shut down Tinker with the ganks coming in it. It really delayed his farm. Of course, it's going to pick up a lot now with those boots of travel.
Coming apart.
Yeah, I can only imagine if it had come out a bit earlier and had to block those camps.
Yeah.
Blink Dagger's up on Magnus now.
He'd be.
And we see a Blink Dagger up on Magnus. It's just being picked up, sitting in the shops at the moment. So that Tinker has to be very, very careful now. If you get Blink skewered, you're not going to be able to TP out of there. The damage is going to be too much.
And Luna has picked up the Helm of Iron Will, so she's got her Helm of the Dominator once she brings it out to herself. I hope she's going to use that to stack up the Ancients so that she can farm them.
Yes.
I believe we've seen Dr. Alco play Luna before, and he does do that. So
Gyrocopter's going to town on the Rubik. The stun's going to come through, and with another Rocket Barrage, it's going to be enough. But an excellent Fissure block coming out. Oh, the cooldown thrown over the Fissure, and it's going to hit him. A nice little play from the Gyro there. Unable to walk through, but still hits with the spell damage, and the Shadow Poison is enough to spell the end of the Earthshaker. It'll be very interesting to see.
Luna's gonna get found by this Sven. Oh no, they're just gonna dance around each other a little bit.
Oh, we see pings coming out on the Sven. He's in a lot of trouble now. That Ghost unit also slowing down his attack speed. We see the Lucid Beam come out. He uses ultimate and BKB. He's going to try and TP out. Oh, and there's just not enough damage to kill him off.
Oh, that's not. He's not going to be happy about that one.
So again, that BKB saving his life, but now it's down to an 8-second charge. So coming at quite a high cost. Meanwhile, the Radiant kill off the mid tower there.
Trouble brewing.
Looks like Dire's adding some pressure to the bottom and take it down with Tinker and Dro. There's a lot of pushing power coming out from these two. The Tinker can take down the creep waves extremely quickly, and the Dro can just melt the towers.
Won't last much longer.
Meanwhile,
They're just going to
Earthshaker.
immediately rotate top. Drow's going to come in on this. Oh, and the silence.
And no detection here.
Though.
Unfortunately, the dusts are on the Tinker, and the Earthshaker, I believe, also has a pair.
Yes, Earthshaker known to have a pair.
See a Fisher coming out on Calcium, but no follow-up. Like to see Luna. I don't think she can throw off the Eclipse now. It's been too long. In another 3 seconds, we're going to have a Fisher, and yep, she's just going to back off.
Yeah, she might have been able to get that kill. She does have a haste rune as well.
I think it was a bit dangerous with the Tinker coming in as well. She would have had to do it very fast, but I don't think having the presence of mind to pop the haste rune and ultimate and run in. A lot of players, of course, getting quite flustered by, probably didn't even think, oh hey, haste rune and ulti, I can pop that off and get a kill.
Invisibility.
Yes, yes. 2 buttons, lot of thinking there, easily getting flustered.
You definitely can forget about runes you have in a bottle.
I usually like to forget about mech while my teammates are dying. That's
and then pop it off a second after they do.
Yeah, just to save me. Because I mean, if I'm not taking damage, why would I use it? That's just silly.
I mean, why would you even have a mech? The Invis Gyrocopter, he's not under Shadow Blade, but actually picked up an invisibility rune. He's stalking the Earthshaker here. If he pops off the ultimate and the Rocket Barrage, a very easy kill for him, but we're going to see the Sven coming as well. Oh, he's being dusted!
Oh, there's the dust! Excellent.
Possibly getting some collision coming off there, and he just goes down. A 3-man RP coming in. He needs to empower him back. No, skewer him back, but no, there's just no backup. The Tinker TP's in, and that's just a 3
like the poison
for
might tick, and just that poison tick not quite taking out the Earthshaker, coming very close, getting down to 6 health, and managing to wand through that.
Just some
that Gyro, I mean.
Yeah.
Stalking is, of course, what Gyrocopter does. It's part of his lore that he built the copter so that he could get up higher and peek in through people's windows. But
official Dota lore, you heard it here first.
Having the presence of mind to throw out that dust.
Oh, very aggressive play from the Lena, and she's probably going to pay for it with her life. Turns around to stun, and it does spell the end.
You can't fight Sven. Have you seen how big his sword is? Have you seen it?
And the Blink Dagger has been picked up by the Tinker with 1k also in his bank account. It'll be interesting to see whether he goes for the 4-star or the
attacking this Sven. He doesn't care. He headbutts that thing.
And the Gyrocopter with Yasha up looks like he's trying to build towards a Mantis style, but I think he really needs to get up a BKB of his own. There's so many stuns coming out from the Dire side. He can't afford to be locked down, especially with only 900 health. If Dro is anywhere near one of those stuns, he's going to die in about 5 hits.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Nothing more to be said about that. Completely correct.
Yeah. The Earthshaker still...
Wait, are we talking about the Gyro or the Luna? Because I think
Gyro.
They both need BKBs.
I definitely think
Luna
that they
needs
do.
One too.
Yeah. And the Earthshaker is still about 1.5k off his Blink Dagger, so we're not going to be seeing any Blink initiations from him. The Gyro has been found out.
Oh, he does get off the blind. Gets off the blind fissure.
But no follow-up dust because he doesn't have the backup. So just something interesting, the Magnus did manage to hit a 3-man RP, but I don't think he should have gone in there. Sure, you hit a 3-man RP, but there was absolutely no follow-up. The Shadow Demon was close by, but not close enough in range to really make a difference. And you always have to be mindful of that Tinker TP. And she will be able to easily do that with the Helm of the Dominator. She needs to walk forwards a bit though.
No, she doesn't.
She just wasn't attacking for a very long time as he walked back.
Yeah, she was waiting for him to walk back a little bit.
Keeping the Frost Arrows up, she's going to be able to take him down easily by herself. Probably take him up 10, 15, 20 seconds, but he certainly will be going down. And meanwhile...
I don't know why she's not just tanking it. I mean, the regen's more than enough to see her through those hits.
Oh, definitely. And a couple more hits, and a Roshan as well.
Roche won't be coming back for a while.
And a haste rune picked up by the Earthshaker. We might see some hasty slamming coming in from him.
Hasty slamming indeed.
Will
Can't
he
be too
run
hasty
in?
with those fissures though. I mean you don't want to throw them out willy-nilly.
Definitely Echo Slam first into a fissure.
For example.
That was hilarious. And the Mask of Madness Crystallis has been picked up by the Sven, so probably going to be going for the Daedalus as his next item. So a bit of a change up in the classic build where you usually go for BKB after the Mask of Madness, so you can usually generally get the Mask of Madness early, so your supports can stack up the Ancients and you can flash farm them for, you know, a quick 1,000 gold. And it looks like Gyrocopter's taken down Tinker. He must have Shadow Bladed past the creep wave to get him close. But Dro finds him out and a dust, and that's going to be the death of the Gyro.
Ooh, she does take a lot of damage though from that old, what's it called?
A Rocket Barrage and Ride Attack is quite a bit. I think if he had actually popped that off instantly, he may have had a chance of killing the Dro. The silence had worn off by the time it was sort of in close, but unfortunately panicking a bit and not being able to get in close. Or close enough and get the skill off in time.
If you think you're safe under that Shadow Blade, there's just... and suddenly you're not, it's a scary thing.
Exactly. 2k up on the Sven. Probably going to be going into the Daedalus. Just for some absurd crits. Meanwhile, the Dro is building a Crystallis of herself. So she'll have to replace the dust. Huh?
Never mind.
Yes. But she will be getting up that crit for just really insane crit. She's already hitting for what, 250 damage? 260
yeah, she doesn't hit for enough at the moment, so
need to add a bit more
onto
that.
To increase that terrible attack damage.
And we do see a dominated Centaur over by the Dire Ancient, so hopefully going to see that being used to stack them up. So far, it doesn't look like the Luna has used hers to effect. Of course, it is in Luna's recommended items because you can stack up those Ancient Camps and take them down with glaives so easily. It's an excellent source of income. It's a bit of a shame not seeing it used.
Presence of mind to actually do it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people just build it like. A lot of people just build it and don't use that function, which really kind of takes away the efficiency of the item.
This Dro in a lot of trouble. The Shadow Blade coming out, the dust there, but the stun hits too early. The Aegis is gone. Also, the Rubik sort of killing himself by throwing the Gyro closer. The Shadow Blade comes out from the Dro. It looks like they're going to try and head her off, but the Tinker also TPs in, tries to take down the Gyrocopter. It's not going to be enough. The Blink coming in from the Magnus, not wanting to use an RP on this Tinker, and the Tinker's Blink coming off cooldown, but blinks into the Gyro.
Gyro, he's gonna have to face a rocket.
They've got to be careful with this chase though. This ultimated Sven is taking down these towers, and they're gonna get some help coming in here. We see the blink stun coming out from the Earthshaker, and look at this turnaround. It's gonna throw out the ultimate as well to try and take him down. The Eclipse from the Luna
that Eclipse is
gonna do a lot of damage. The dust comes out, and he just needs a Lucent Beam, and that's a double kill for the Luna. But meanwhile, the T3 tower at bottom has taken a lot of damage.
Oh, Lena.
And the BKB's thrown out, but getting blocked by creeps. Is he going to be able to catch up and get a crit? No crit, but the attack's enough. The buyback from the Gyrocopter is going to be enough to kill off this Sven, so an excellent buyback from the Gyro to not only save his support, but save damage on the tower that would have inevitably come afterwards.
Of course, he did not save his support. He failed at saving the support.
He did, but definitely worth a trade for a Lena for a farm Sven.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt. And of course, Clap can go back to farming now, farming up that lane, using that flak cannon. Look at it go! Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, Tinker has started building towards that Shiva's Guard, already picking up the plate mail for some right-click damage reduction, and also picking up the recipe as well. So only needs another 1,200 gold to finish that off.
He's generated a nice little push for Luna to come in and farm.
The Disruption and Soul Catch are actually doing a lot of damage to the Tinker, down to half health just from the Shadow Demon. I think one of probably the funniest things I've ever seen was an insanely farmed Tinker that was making the life of the other team hell. What they did was 5-man smoke and follow a creep wave. So when he boots it traveled in, he boots it traveled into 5 heroes.
Buildings are tough as nails.
Of course, they popped out of the smoke and just absolutely obliterated him.
Oh dear. Well,
the dust comes out. But Sven, beg your pardon?
You'd have to predict which creep wave, of course.
Oh, definitely. And then excellent Fisher coming out from the Earthshaker. Forces the death of 2 from the follow-up, and we see a double kill from the cooldown, but the 700 damage crit coming out from the Sven. Oh, and the kiting from the Dro Ranger, getting away from the Magnus.
I'm going to call that
That's a 4 for 2 trade, but the Tinker does buy back. Of course, he can use his Boots of Travel to get out to a lane and start farming, or counter-pushing that bottom lane where the Shadow Demon's sitting.
Really unfortunate the Shadow Demon wasn't in that fight.
Yeah, his Disruption could have really lent a lot.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
He TP's back home.
Farm up these ancients.
We see a Disruption coming out, and the Soul Catcher. He stuns his own illusions. The Demonic Purge also coming down. Look at the damage coming out from the Disruption illusions, and Shadow Demon gets a solo kill on the Sven. Showing the power of the Demonic Purge
right there.
And the Disruption, taking out a very farmed Sven. Excellent play from the Shadow Demon.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
Meanwhile, the Shadow Bladed Dro's coming in. The Silence comes out as well. Really needs to hit more of those Frost Arrows. And this is going to be the death of the Shadow Demon.
5, 6.
And that was
he's
with a Mechanism charge as well, so probably would have only been 5 without it.
I think 4 even without it, because there was 2 hits out. That was
like
just an
looks like
little,
Luna really needs to pop off the Eclipse here. We see the blink forward from the Magnus. Doesn't get in position for the RP. Should skewer forward to try and slow him down. Turns around for the Empower. Still isn't skewering.
No.
We're going to see a Shockwave come out and the auto attack damage. And the skewer comes after the death.
Of course. Just waiting for it, you know.
The Gyro has picked up a Helm of the Dominator before picking up anything else.
Somebody's cooking.
Oh, and the Dro managing to pick up a solo kill on the Lina on the top lane there. But it looks like they're going to be trading the Lina's life for the mid tower. And they might want to just continue this push while the Tinker's down without the anti-push from the March of the Machines. Apart from some Fissures and Fade Bolts, there's not too much that the Dire can do. But no, they back off, and the cleave from Sven, 2 hits, and the wave is gone.
Too much.
Bam! And the wave is gone.
Haha!
We're getting pings for Roshan coming out, but obviously they have not written his timer down. Still probably about a minute and a half until
An
he comes
excellent
back.
blink by the Earthshaker. Right here. Good job, Earthshaker. Just scouting out that little bit of patch of high ground just in case.
Yeah, it could be someone lurking up there. We see the Tinker playing very offensively at the moment. Doesn't have his shoes and is sitting quite low. I wonder if he doesn't have anything on the courier, so that death and buyback really setting him back. March of the Machines coming out from the trees, and also a Fish is going to take the Lina quite low. She's really going down quite hard. Just to these basic kind of AoE spells, he doesn't even need to be targeted to be affected greatly. A smoke up from the Dire side, and they're going to be instantly revealed. The Blinks takes off the path of the escape path of the Luna. She tries to run back, but nowhere to go, no help in sight. You are dead. The Sven is going to go back to farming up. Of course, his Daedalus is complete now. Hitting 500 crits on the creep, so it would be interesting to see how hard he hits when he's got that ultimate on.
It's gonna be nasty, is all I can say there.
I am just going to alt-tab very quickly, try and get the Twitch chat up again. Gonna do it in kind of bursts.
Yes, for all of our many active followers.
Oh, we do see some people go in there. And
I mean, we're competing.
We see the demonic purge coming out on the Sven, and the Magnus just walks into the stun, and he gets a double kill for their insolence. Just so much damage coming out. He just kills them in 3 swipes of his massive sword. And he's gonna go onto the tower here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the tower is almost gone. The fortification coming out. And the creeps take the tower.
What for?
Good old creeps. Creeps win games.
They do. Because Magnus having the drums, but he hasn't popped off a single charge yet. We see the ultimate coming out from the Gyro. A lot of rocket barrage damage coming out. He manages to stun off the drone, but there's a lot of dodge, but melted by the lasagna blade. Oh, the Echo Slam comes out, but misses on all but Luna. Runs away, uses the Manta. The Enchant Totem doesn't hit. She has to be careful of the stun. The stun from Sven comes out, and that's all she wrote. The BKB popped off. Perfect timing there. And that is the Lena down as well. That totem hit doing a lot of damage. And that is going to be definitely top tracks unless we can see some creative defending from the Gyro here. Really needs to pop off his flat cannon. He'd be able to get a triple kill here with the flat cannon. Needs to call down as well. Gets the double. Needs to pick off that Earthshaker. The stun is coming out, so I don't think he's going to get away. They can just leave him now and let the stun finishing arm off. The flat cannon coming out, and the blink forward, and the rocket kills him off. A triple kill to the Gyrocopter, and the Radiant Barracks stays up. So some good play again from the Radiant, and in some excellent time. I believe it was a buyback from the Gyro. No, it wasn't. It was just general respawn. And he has completed up that Manta style now.
He sure has.
Tinker sitting with enough cash to finish off that Shivers, and it looks like it's flying out to him on the courier now, so even more magic damage coming out from the Tinker. But what I was going to say before that massive fight broke out is the Magnus hasn't used his drums at all. Of course, one of the big advantages of these drums are the active. It gives you plus 10 attack and 10 attack damage, and plus 10% movement speed. The earlier you use them, the better they are, but even late game they're useful. In a team fight, that's if all of your team members are there, that's plus 50 damage and also movement speed that you're giving to your team. Ooh, the Dro finds the Gyrocopter, manages to Shadow Blade out, doesn't take him down. But it's always a shame seeing unused drum charges. And in fact, he pops one off just as I say that. Just near creeps.
I myself am notorious for not using those drum charges. I just like to have the drums. I don't like to use them.
Just play on your bongos while everyone dies, and then you pop off your mech.
Exactly. That's how it works. Yes. That's how I win games.
And the Dro range is going to go on this Roshan now. She has picked up a Daedalus of her own, so able to just sit there and take out poor Roshan, doomed to an eternal life of respawning and getting killed by punk kids.
Roche won't be stopped.
Double Daedalus too much, and the Aegis does go to the Dro. I think it would have been slightly better on the Sven there, because if the Dro dies with the Aegis and respawns, they're all going to be in range to cancel out her ultimate. Not ever really wasted on a carry. I just think it would have been better on the Sven.
Yeah, and I agree there. Gyro did as well. She killed off that TP, not wanting it to be given up by the enemy team and giving them a freebie.
If we take a quick look at the experience graph, it's going 5k in the way of the Dire, and the gold graph sitting around 10k. By no means a lost game. Oh, a blink forward, but unfortunately not getting on the high ground. A Fisher actually blocks off follow-up there. Disruption comes out, but there's going to be no follow-up from that side either. And the Sven has actually picked up a Heart of Tarask. That's not good for the enemy team.
Yeah, Dr. House is going to be very hard to take down now.
And these long sieges, he's just going to be able to regen his health instantly. If he decides to go in with a BKB charge, takes a bit of damage, he can just walk out of the base, sit there for about 15 seconds, and be at full health again. So it'll be interesting to see if he pops this BKB and just tries to go on the barracks while the rest of his team tries to push out mid. We might see a blink up from the Earthshaker here, being scouted out by the Shadow Poison. Oh, we see Disruption come out. The Light Strike Array is going to follow up. Excellent timing. And he gets skewered into the base. And he goes down. Some nice chaining of abilities there from the Radiant. A good pick-off. Hampered the initiation of the dive by quite a bit, not having that setup Blink Echo Slam off the shot.
Tinker's up the top here, trying to push down these top racks.
The Gyro
just open up some room for his team to fight. They're pushing down both lanes here, and the Radiant have really haven't really got an answer to this.
Yeah, they really need to be sitting in 2 lanes, and the Magnus should really be empowering the Gyrocopter here. With that flat cannon and empower, he's going to be doing a lot of damage in team fights. Kind of the one good thing for this Gyro is he's getting up massive amounts of farm by these waves constantly pushing in, because he's getting the majority of last hits here, so it's just putting gold up on a silver platter for him. Sitting at 3.6k
we do
gold.
see the Dire placing down a sentry ward just to prevent that Gyro from initiating on them while they're trying to siege.
Yeah. And Rubik has managed to force himself up onto a cliff. Might have been trying to just go around it, but gets stuck at the top.
It was a climbing Mount Radiant there.
A disruption coming out. Oh, and that's the Aegis gone for the Dro. Caught out, and as I said, this Dro is just going to go down very quickly. Oh, the Eclipse popped off, but the Shadow Blade was popped. A waste of the ultimate from the Luna. No detection.
The furs
Meanwhile, the Sven is taking down the racks at top.
Fortify their
Destruction from the Dro. The Fortify gets popped off,
boom,
but with the BKB, look at that damage coming out. The slow still getting him, but the Shadow Demon just melts. Waits, but the nuke damage, and now the RP comes out. And that is a cleanup crew from the Radiant, a 3-for-1 trade in the end.
Radiant's bottom tower.
But meanwhile, Dro pushing out bottom lane. This is going to be another barracks.
Radiant
despite the team fight win.
That's 2 racks, and that just shows you what
accidentally cancels her Shadow Blade.
Ooh, and gets stunned by Luna. Oh, an excellent ultimate in from the Earthshaker. Completely turns it around. Oh, the blink forward from the Magnus and catches them both out. This is going to be a double kill for the Gyrocopter here.
7 in a row. 2 down.
That's a team wipe. They're going to have to rapidly push, but with both these lanes pushing in, they're just not going to be able to capitalize on it with only 2 heroes.
Looks like it's
Unfortunately, both the Dro and the Sven have buyback, so I don't think they're going to have a chance to push down the middle for the win here.
But they are going to have to make some magic happen.
And 5.7k on the Gyrocopter, we might see this late game desperation Divine Rapier.
I hope we do.
I really hope so too.
Let's just go right now. Gyro, if you're attempting to stream cheat and listening to this, please.
Oh, and he spent some money already, so I don't think he's going to be going Divine Rapier.
He's picked up the Eagle Song. Gone for the boring build.
What a cop-out. When you're behind like this, the Divine Rapier is definitely the way to go. Hitting a flat cannon for, 400 damage. But unfortunately, he does go for that butterfly. Doesn't complete it yet because he is saving for his buyback. But he's
problem
still
is Sven will just still come in and Divine Rapier or not, beat the shit out of you.
Not necessarily true. If he gets off that Demonic Purge on the Sven, that's gonna slow him down a lot, and if with a cooldown slow as well.
The purge, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, if they get off the perch.
Which you should be saving for the Sven every single fight. Of course, the problem comes if the Disruptor is the first one to... The Shadow Demon who uses Disrupt is the first one to die in these fights. But I definitely think that a Divine Rapier Gyrocopter could take down the Sven. And even if he didn't take down the Sven, he would do so much damage in the meantime to the rest of the team that I think it would just be the Sven
there's
alone.
the ultimate, there's the Eclipse, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh, and it goes down. The RP on the solo Sven. Oh, but the blink in from the Earthshaker. That's going to be a team wipe. The instant buyback from the Gyrocopter, but it's going to be 1 versus 4, and there's just too much damage on the side of the Dire. I think this is good game. It's going to be the third set.
He didn't have enough time. He went down before he could use that second ulti.
The stun comes out, and
and
the gem on Sven.
But
there's nothing that this Gyrocopter can do. That's going to be the entire mid lane of Rack's gone, the top Rack's gone, and the Gyro is rotated to bottom 2. That is mega creeps for the Dire. There's nothing this Gyro can do but cry in his face for his lost love. He's going to go on the drone.
Oh, there are things he can do.
He's going to take her down. But he's going to get caught out by the Sven here. The stun comes through. The Shiver's Guard, the laser, the rockets, the gem, the damage, the death.
I think Lena being a little bit optimistic that she is going to be able to stop this push.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
But we love her optimism there. Go for it, Lena. Laguna Blade.
Radiant's mid
Takes down the Tinker.
A little bit too cocky there. You don't go up against Alina with an Aghanim, it's just not a good plan.
The final score, 40-40. Mega creeps to the Dire. The XP, only 2.5k in the way of the Dire. But the gold, the real decider of this match was 17k.
Oh, Sven, don't go down, we want to keep it even.
And the Sven gets skewered back in, and it's the death.
Ruins our evenness.
And the throne still hasn't gone down. They're gonna try and stop this. For some reason, the Rubik walks in and just stands there, and he's gonna go down. Oh, the Sven buys back and uses boots to travel. Uses a buyback boots to travel to get back in the fight, but there's nothing he can do. The blink in from the Earthshaker, but no mana to follow it up with. His throne is still alive.
He's coming back in, but he's going to be in trouble.
Oh, the stun comes out. This is going to be the support's dead.
Good thing that take him down.
Oh, the BKB popped off. The Eclipse coming out, but hitting on creeps.
Oh, and
the Laguna Blade. Oh, and the end of the game. 43-41 the way of the Radiant, but the Dire taking it out. The split push too much for the Radiant team. Just overall, an excellent game played by the Dire.
Spectacular all round.
A very good game coming out from both teams.
Great plays by that Gyro there. ThunderClap doing his job, and really, I mean, he was keeping the Radiant alive there.
He really carried for his team there. A lot of clutch buybacks, actually buying back at the correct times and managing to get a kill back from it and continue his farm at the same time. Which is really what you need to do out of a buyback. That's
something we see very often.
A lot of Nature's Prophet rage buybacks into deaths.
Oh, yes.
So thank you for tuning into Game 2, guys. The stream is going on twitch.tv/SpecDota, and the VODs are also up and will be up tomorrow on youtube.com/SpecDota. So please come by and take a look at all the games.